Hi, Father Christmas. It's me, little Phil Dean from Radio.co. Now, I'm sure you know already, I have been a really good boy this year, but man, I've got so many gadgets getting dusty, biscuits going stale, and enough shower gel to last, and bathe with, for a whole year, maybe the rest of my life even. But the one thing that I really want for Christmas this year is the ability to form confident, cohesive sentences on air, to produce anecdotes that leave my audience laughing and smiling all year round. Without that, I think I'll drive my audience away. So please, Father Christmas, Santa Claus, Saint Nick, if there's anything you can do for me, please. I want this Christmas to be special, please.
Hello there, Philip. I think I can grant your Christmas wish because you've been such a good boy. Let's learn how to be a more confident, better host.
All right, Santa.
Hello, my boy.
This video is made by Radio.co. To start your free Radio.co trial in seconds, head to Radio.co and click on the pricing page.
Hello, everybody. My name is Santa Claus, and I've arrived here at the Radio.co offices here in the delightfully festive but overpriced city of Manchester to not only visit some old friends, but to gift some of my wisdom before I depart once again for the North Pole. Now you may be thinking, Nicholas, what could you possibly bring to the table today? Do you have your own radio station or podcast? Well, do you? Do you? Well, sadly, not at this time. I'm far too busy. However, just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So, whilst I don't yet have my own official radio station or podcast, I do actually know a thing or two about presenting, all thanks to my many years of public speaking and my various appearances throughout Hollywood and the likes. So allow me, Santa Claus, to help coach you, my dear friends, on 8 simple ways you can become a better radio or podcast host. Number 1, be yourself. The first thing you can do to gear yourselves up to being more confident is to simply being more yourself. There's no need to create a radio persona or put on a silly costume. Just embrace your own passions, your own interests, and your natural tone of your voice. After all, one of the first things audiences will latch onto is the authenticity of the host. If they like you for what you personally bring to the table, they'll stick around and they'll support you. Number 2, be proud of your background. Furthermore, to my first point, if you are launching a local radio station or you are attempting to appeal to a very specific audience, whether it's a genre of music or a field of expertise, then you will want your audience to relate to you in as many different ways as possible. Does your upbringing relate to what you are talking about or playing? Do you have personal experience in this area? Why do you confine yourself to the coldest realm on Earth, surrounded by nothing but snow and elves? Well, share what you know and why you are doing this. Again, it will only improve your authenticity and the chances of your listeners returning again and again. Number 3, research, and research. It goes without saying that if you are appearing as an expert in a certain field or you are interviewing a certain someone for your show, then researching extensively is paramount. And researching doesn't just mean using one measly source. I'm looking at you, Wikipedia, naughty list. Cross-reference from multiple places or people. Watch and listen to previous interviews. Even try looking at their interactions on social media or LinkedIn. You'll find a literal embarrassment of riches if you come poorly prepared and you tick off your guest or your hosts. Number 4, embrace the art of voice tracking. Now, this is more of a tip for the radio hosts amongst us, but if you are seriously and quite rightfully nervous about broadcasting live, then now is clearly not the right time to do it. But that's not to say that you can't still have your voice ringing through the ears of your listeners. No. You can pre-record or voice track your shows instead. If you would rather ensure that your programs have been properly recorded, you have all of your links scripted, and they have been tightly edited to perfection, then by all means, go for it. Especially as it allows you to get used to presenting, listening to yourself back, and getting off to a very strong start. I mean, most radio throughout the land is pre-recorded, so there's nothing wrong with you doing it either. Number 5, be social media savvy. Of course, I am not personally one to having a TikTok or a Facebook page documenting my every move. I mean, I've got to keep some secrets back, haven't I? But I cannot deny how essential social media is for being and remaining connected to your audience. I mean, posting regularly will keep your listeners engaged with what you have to say. I mean, offering them the opportunity to contribute to your show. So, not only are your audience listening in, but they are practically giving you content to share on air. I mean, how marvelous is that? And of course, being across a multitude of landing pages and devices means you can market your radio station more effectively by appealing to a wider range of people, regardless of their platforms or their preference. Now, if you don't know how the likes of TikTok works, then learn how it works. I mean, if you're not sure about how to properly use Facebook as a website for your radio station or podcast, then find people who do. Remain professional and inclusive. If you are not either of those things, then it can cause your shows to be closed off to prospective listeners. I mean, for example, if you fail to stick to the release schedule of your podcast, that same release schedule your audience has gotten used to for a considerable amount of time, then well, it will really throw a candy cane into the works, making them question whether you are continuing and when you are next on air. Likewise, if you cannot stick to the times of your shows, or if you are on air and you act unprofessionally, like, I don't know, having no enthusiasm, or you're tired, or you're rude to your guests or towards your listeners directly, then of course you cannot expect them to stick around. Additionally, I am, as you'd expect, a man of only good, sweet, and clean things to say about people. So keep in mind whether the profanity you speak or you play on air, it's what your audience will want to hear. All it takes is for someone to say something horrible, and you may get on the naughty list. Oops. Number 7, don't be boring. Now, you may be thinking, that's a strange, rather subjective thing to say, Nicholas, but it's true. It's imperative to be aware enough of whether you or your show is not engaging enough. Not being engaging and worthy of listening to is boring, regardless of how exciting or action-packed you may think your topic of conversation is. I mean, sure, on the surface, some topics of conversation can seem boring or can seem bleak, but they will only be those things if the voices participating in said conversation are boring or bleak themselves. Being a great storyteller is one of the most important things a host can be, but you can lead your audience on an expertly illustrated journey through your podcast, your debate, or even an anecdote linking two songs together. As long as you remain confident in what you are saying, there is passion, drive, and conviction in your voice, and you keep your show moving at the perfect pace, then my friend, you will never be boring on air. Seek out guidance from experts. Of course, it's all well and good me, the wonderful, almost mythical, omnipotent figure that I am, giving you guidance on how to improve the way you present on air. So more in-depth practical assistance in improving yourself can be found by, well, speaking with those that actually do that for a living. I mean, believe it or not, there will be podcasts out there about podcasting, or books on how to be more savvy on the radio. In fact, Radio.co have a course that you can purchase that gives you the knowledge to vastly improve your presenting ability. Led by industry expert Kate Cocker, this 6-module course is the best way to access industry tips from an industry legend and refine the craft that you have such a passion for. And there we have it. 8 very achievable tips on how you can improve as a host on your radio station or podcasting project. Of course, all the tips shared in this video are totally transferable between the two mediums, so regardless of where your preference lies, you will become a more confident, coherent broadcaster quicker than you can say ding dong merrily on high. Now I'm back off to the North Pole to continue with the preparations for yet another wonderful Christmas season, but I shall leave you in the very capable hands of my friends here at Radio.co. So if you have any questions on how you can get your own radio station or podcast set up in mere minutes, then send them an email via studio@Radio.co. Or, better yet, if you'd like to chat to Phil directly to his fuzzy bearded face, then head to our website, radio.co/demo, to back in a time to talk. Gifting someone the magic of an internet radio station is a truly beautiful thing. All the best, happy broadcasting, and have a very Merry Christmas, one and all. Ho, 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 ho.
And just before you go, have you ever thought about launching your very own internet radio station? Surprisingly, it's a lot easier than you may think, especially when you make the time to chat to myself or a member of the Radio.co team. To do just that, head to our website, radio.co/demo, where I can talk about your plans, any questions you may have, and me and the team can really get you up to speed in launching your own internet radio station in literally minutes. It couldn't be easier. Why not check out some of our webinars, tutorials, help guides situated around me? Or why not visit our website, radio.co, or even drop me an email, studio@radio.co. Until next time, take care and happy broadcasting.